Watch this. One video script becomes a LinkedIn post, a Twitter thread, a newsletter intro, and an Instagram caption in 90 seconds on screen right now. That's 17 minutes of work for a full week of content across 4 platforms. And then I'm going to open Notebook LM and go from knowing literally nothing about a topic to holding a printed action plan in my hand in 5 minutes. That used to take me 2 to 3 hours of Googling and tab hopping. So, here's a plan. I will show you 2 workflows today. Workflow 1 is for anyone who creates content videos, blogs, social posts, work presentations, etc. If you make anything of these, this is going to save you hours every single week. And workflow 2 is for anyone who has to research anything like business decisions, personal finance, job prep, learning a new skill, or it could be anything. Both tools are completely free. Alright, real quick. Here's the actual problem. You're probably spending 2 to 4 hours every week doing the same type of writing and research. Not because you're slow, but because nobody ever built a system for it. I actually tracked my own task for a week, and honestly, it was eye opening. 60% of what I did was just routine work, same structure but different content every single time. And here's a problem your brain doesn't give you a discount because the task is repetitive. It costs the same mental energy whether you're writing a game changing proposal or reformatting the same report for the third time. So, by the time you get to the work that actually matters, like strategy, decision making, and creative thinking, you're already mentally drained. In today's video, I'm going to show you 2 simple fixes that can start helping you immediately. So, let's start with the first workflow. If you create any kind of content, this one's going to save you a ton of time. Here's a problem we all have hit. You make one solid piece of content and then you need it in 4 other formats. LinkedIn wants a post, Twitter wants a thread, your newsletter needs an intro, and Instagram wants a caption. Same ideas, completely different packaging. And most people either skip it entirely, which means your content only lives in one place, or they spend like 2 hours manually rewriting everything. So I tested this system on my 4 video scripts last month. And here's what's amazing. The repurposed versions actually got more engagement than the posts I wrote from scratch initially. I think it's because the core idea was already validated by the original content. Anyways, let me show you the whole system. So, the first thing you're going to do is teach AI your voice and your roles. This is a one-time setup. You do it once, save it, and that's it. To do that, you go to Claude and set up a project, which is basically you're giving AI a one-time instruction so it understands your voice, your roles, and how each platform should sound. In that setup, you tell it not to make things up, to stay true to your original content, and to rewrite the same idea differently for other platforms. Then, every time for repurposing the content, all you have to do is go to Claude, attach the content you have ready, and ask it to exactly what you want to create, like a LinkedIn post, a thread, a newsletter intro, or an Insta caption. So, instead of starting from scratch every time, you're giving AI a clear system to repurpose your content properly. I've pasted the instruction rules that goes in the project and the prompt in the description below. And there it is, in a minute or 2. 4 pieces of content. Look at that LinkedIn hook. See how it's not just a summary from a video script? It's a take that's designed to make someone stop scrolling. That's what LinkedIn rewards. The Twitter thread breaks the same argument into bite-sized standalone tweets. Newsletter teases without spoiling, and Instagram is short and punchy. Oh, and very quickly, the research workflow I'm going to show you in part 2, that's actually what I use to validate the entire content strategy behind this video. You'll see exactly why it matters when we get there. Okay, now here's the part that actually matters. Never post raw AI output directly. The structure and formatting, that's okay. But you need to inject the stuff only you can bring. Your stories, your opinions, and your real numbers. AI gives you the skeleton, you add the personality. That's what makes people follow you and not a robot. My editing rule is simple. Scan each piece and replace every generic line with something specific from your own experience. Like, if the AI wrote, many professionals struggle with time management, cool, that's true. But nobody stops scrolling for that. I would swap it for something like, last week I tracked my time and 27 out of 45 hours were pattern work. Specific beats generic every time. This took me 2 minutes to generate and 15 minutes to edit. That's 17 minutes total for a full week of content across 4 platforms. If this kind of workflow is useful to you, hit subscribe. Now, the part most people actually skip. This workflow saved 2 to 3 hours per content piece. If you publish weekly, that's 8 to 12 hours a month back in your day. Not bad for a 17-minute workflow, right? Now, the second workflow is the one that actually surprised me more. For this, we are going to use Notebook LM, which is Google's free AI research assistant. It has a feature where you can search the web for sources. You need to just describe what you're researching, and it goes out, searches the web, scans through hundreds of sources, and brings back the most relevant ones. Curated, summarized, and ready to import with one click. And then, once your sources are loaded, everything Notebook LM tells you comes from only those sources. No hallucinations and made up facts. Just your verified research organized however you need it. Let me show you how this works in practice. So, here's a real situation. I need to figure out how YouTube's recommendation algorithm works for small channels in 2026. This isn't a made up example. My channel is new and I generally need this for my growth strategy. The old way, I would open Google, read like 10 articles, half of them outdated, open 12 tabs, and an hour later I would have a messy doc that I will still need to organize. Sounds familiar, right? Here's a new way. One tool, start to finish. I open Notebook LM, create a new notebook, and then type in what I want to research. You can also upload files if you have any saved on a computer. To research, I type in the search box a topic I want to research. Look at this. Within seconds, it searched the web, scanned through hundreds of sources, and brought back the most relevant ones, each with a little summary explaining why it matters for my specific question. I'm going to click through them, pick the 4 or 5 best ones, and hit import. One click and they're now loaded in my notebook. Now, if I want to go even deeper, I can use a deep research option. Instead of just finding sources, this actually creates a research plan, browses dozens of websites on my behalf, and generates a full multi-page report with citations. I just type a more specific question in the search box and select deep research. This takes a couple of minutes to run, and honestly, that's fine because you can keep working while it does its thing. And when it's done, look at this report. It's on a list of links. It's an actual structured research document with findings, examples, and citations. Every claim links back to a real source. I can click through and verify anything. I'm going to import the report and all its sources into my notebook. Okay, so now my notebook has all these verified curated sources loaded up. And here's the magic of Notebook LM. Now, when I ask it questions, it only answers from these specific sources. No random hallucinations and made up stats. Just my verified research organized the way I need it. So now I ask it to build me an action checklist for my next 10 videos. So, in 2 steps, 5 minutes, and 1 tool, I went from I should really learn the algorithm someday to having a printed checklist beside my monitor with clear experiments mapped out for my next 10 videos. And here's the best part. Every single recommendation traces back to a real source. If I want to double check anything, I just click the citations in the notebook and it highlights exactly where the info came from in the original article. I actually use this exact workflow to plan the content strategy for this channel. The tool also creates real outputs you can use right away, like reports, slide decks, mind maps, and even audio summaries, all pulled from your sources. And this workflow is not limited to just one use case. Got a meeting tomorrow? Use Notebook LM to research the company and build a prep document. Comparing tools before making a purchase? Same process. Or trying to learn a new skill quickly? Same process again. The pattern stays the same. Find the right sources, load them in, and then ask the exact question you want to. If you do any kind of research, learning, or meeting prep, this can easily save you 3 to 5 hours a week. And the best part is, the tool is free. So between those two workflows, we are looking at 5 to 8 hours a week. That's real, that's measurable. But honestly, the biggest change wasn't the hours. It was finishing the day and feeling like I actually achieved something instead of just staying busy. AI took care of the repetitive and tedious work so I could focus on thinking like a person. Alright, here's what I want you to do. Pick one, just one. Either the content repurposing system or the Notebook LM research workflow. Every prompt from this video is sitting right there in the description below. Go grab them and try it with something real. An actual post you need to repurpose or an actual topic you need to research, not a test. Something you would actually do today anyway. Also, comment below which one would you try first. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next video.